The air was still, but my hands wouldn't stop shaking. I hadn't planned to fall apart that day. I only planned to rest. Just a few minutes. Just a quick pause. But sometimes the quiet doesn't heal you. Sometimes it exposes what you've been running from. I remember sinking into the chair like my body finally understood gravity. Heavy. Too heavy. And for the first time in months, I wasn't moving. No notifications, no deadlines. Just breath. Slow. Uneven. But then something cracked inside me. A small sound. A memory. A feeling I didn't recognize at first. It wasn't peace. It wasn't relief. It was the echo of everything I'd ignored. Why does rest feel like danger when you're exhausted? I had spent years worshiping productivity, counting hours, measuring worth in checklists, telling myself that tiredness meant progress, that burnout was some kind of badge, that discipline meant never stopping. And so I didn't stop. Not for birthdays, not for sleep, not for the part of me whispering that something was wrong. I kept going because slowing down felt like losing, like failure creeping in through the cracks. But that afternoon, in the quiet I thought I wanted, my body betrayed me. My breath caught, my throat tightened, and tears I didn't know I'd been holding fell without warning. It was collapse masquerading as rest. And I realized I wasn't tired. I was empty. The room got smaller, walls closer, heart louder. Every beat sounded like a question I didn't have the courage to answer. Why was I afraid of stillness? Why did silence feel like judgment? Why did I avoid the softness I claimed to crave? What if the real burnout wasn't physical but emotional? I had built my identity on motion, on being the reliable one, the strong one, the one who never needed help. But strength becomes a mask when you wear it too long, and mine had started to crack, not from pressure, but from neglect. I rested that day because I thought rest was simple, a pause, a reset. But the truth is quieter and sharper. Rest isn't an escape, it's a mirror. And when I finally looked, I hated what I saw. A person who confused exhaustion with purpose. Someone who used discipline as a shield. Someone who couldn't remember the last time they felt joy with guilt. I'd been fighting sleep like it was an enemy. Turns out it was the only thing trying to save me. Minutes passed, or maybe hours. Time got slippery. Strange how collapse doesn't feel dramatic. It feels slow. I felt myself unravel, thread by thread. At first I resisted, wiped my face, straightened my back, tried to fix the moment like it was another problem to solve. But some things aren't meant to be fixed. They're meant to be felt. What happens when you finally stop running from yourself? As the shaking eased, something else surfaced. A truth I had buried so deeply it barely had a voice left. I wasn't living. I was performing, showing up on autopilot, hoping no one would notice the glitch in the machine. Rest didn't break me. It revealed that I was already broken. And for the first time, I wasn't ashamed of that. There was relief hidden in the cracks, a strange warmth at the edges of the pain, like the first sunlight after a long storm. I realized that the collapse wasn't an ending. It was an invitation to rebuild differently, to rebuild honestly. The next day, I moved slower, not out of weakness, but out of intention. I let myself breathe without rushing to the next task. I let myself feel without labeling it as unproductive. I let myself be human, and being human is messier than any schedule allows. What if the version of you after rest is the one you've been trying to become all along? I used to think gold came from achievement, from pushing, from grinding through the pain. But the truth was quieter. The gold was in the cracks, in the parts of me I spent years hiding, in the softness I called weakness, in the rest I treated like a luxury instead of a lifeline. Renewal didn't happen suddenly. It wasn't cinematic. It was subtle, daily, a slow returning to myself, learning to listen, to pause, to unclench the fists I didn't realize I'd been making. I rebuilt not through force, but through gentleness, through choosing rest before collapse, through letting the truth in even when it stung. Now I know this. Rest isn't the opposite of discipline. Rest is what discipline becomes when it's finally honest. It broke me open, not to destroy me, but to free me. And in the space that followed, I found a new kind of strength, the kind that doesn't need noise, or speed, or constant motion. Just breath, just presence, just enough.